This was me a few years back before some injuries and a parasite, completely natural for a drug-tested show. The one and only men's physique show I ever did. Now, let me be clear, this is not a sustainable physique, nor do I think it should even be desirable. But the era of steroids and social media has destroyed so many minds and has set completely unrealistic expectations for everyone, including myself. I'm a highly competitive person, and when you watch fitness content, naturally the algorithm recommends the most shredded and jacked people. And we all know these are people in the best lighting with a pump, and not everybody that looks great is taking something, but many of them are. But I can promise you, being this lean has a lot more negative outcomes than you might think. First of all, I was this way for about 2 to 3 weeks, and I was miserable. I had no energy, minimal sex drive, and I was constantly hungry to the point where it was uncomfortable and I was always irritable. It's just flat out not healthy to try to maintain a low enough body fat percentage to look like this. And sure, there will always be outliers and maybe 0.1% of the population that can, but for most people, this is not a good goal to have. And not only that, but once you get this unsustainably lean, you'll never be back there again. As we age and life catches up, everyone is eventually going to lose their tight aesthetic. And that's no reason to throw up your hands and throw in the towel, but the sooner you optimize for performance, mobility, agility, and function over any aesthetic, not just being shredded, the sooner you'll be able to find a sustainable fitness lifestyle. I've seen it so many times, people that aim to get shredded for summer, they go on super restrictive diets, start doing hours of cardio, they look up the best fat burners, and they end up miserable after a week, and then they yo-yo back to their regular way of living. And listen, there is a multi-year path to being very lean that is actually sustainable, but it takes a long time and knowing your body intimately well, and really nobody wants to hear that. Everybody's looking for a shortcut. And when you're on a path of trying to be as shredded as you can, you're likely going to feel insecure or inadequate until you get there. You'll constantly look in the mirror to see if you're shredded or not yet, and when you're not, you'll get disappointed and either lean into more shortcuts that can cause harm, or you'll give up altogether. So my advice would be just find a calorie deficit that's sustainable if your goal is to get leaner, which yes, can be a healthy lifestyle. Just track your food intake for a week and see where you land. I'm guessing it's worse than you think because overeating is really easy, and if you wanted to see a video on this, just let me know. Then after that, just cut the calories you consume by about 250 per day for a week or two. Weigh yourself every morning and see how your body adjusts. Do strength training a few times a week, walk as much as you can, and find cardio sources you enjoy and do that a few times a week. Sleep well and eat clean, and once you build these habits that you enjoy, where your aim is a healthy lifestyle and training that makes you functional and prepared for life, then over time you'll naturally become lean in a way that's sustainable. I'm not naive enough to think the culture is going to change to the point where we don't fawn over people that are shredded, because it does take incredible dedication. But my point is there are much better goals for 99% of people that don't plan to compete and are not fitness models. So don't let social media and the supplement industry convince you that you need to walk around daily under 12% body fat to be healthy and fit, because that's nonsense. Optimize for having energy to show up in life and to be capable, and if you do that for long enough, you will end up lean enough, and that is what our culture should be celebrating a lot more than it does now. And over the next year, I do plan to get leaner than I am now, but I'm going to do so in a way where I have plenty of energy to run 2 businesses, where I have enough mental energy to be there for my family and friends. But my end goal is not to look like I did years ago, it's to challenge myself, to lose a bit of weight to become more athletic, and to test my own theories about calorie adjustments and daily steps and testing different training modalities, because for me, existing in my own body well is a never-ending experiment I'll be carrying out all my life. Because the more you learn about your body and what you respond to, the easier it is to make changes as life requires them.